Angela Parker smoothed her crisp white uniform, feeling the familiar fabric against her skin. It was a small comfort in the face of the unknown. Today was a fresh start, a chance to make a difference, to prove herself in a new environment. She had always believed in the power of new beginnings. St. Mary's General Hospital, with its grand facade and gleaming floors, held the promise of a brighter future. The building stood tall, a beacon of hope and healing in the community. She, Angela Parker, was going to be the best darn nurse this hospital had ever seen. Her determination was unwavering, fueled by years of hard work and dedication. Her smile wavered slightly as she walked through the doors, the pristine environment a stark contrast to the bustling city hospital where she'd trained. The memories of her training days flashed through her mind, filled with chaos and urgency. She was one of the few faces of color in the crowded hallway. Most averted their gaze, perhaps unsure of how to approach her. Some offered fleeting smiles, a small gesture of welcome. A knot of anxiety tightened in her stomach. She had faced challenges before, but this felt different, more personal. Taking a deep breath, Angela found her way to the nurses' station. The familiar scent of antiseptic and the hum of activity were oddly comforting. The chatter died down as she approached. Conversations halted, and she could feel the weight of their stares. All eyes were on her, assessing, judging. She could almost hear their thoughts, questioning her competence and place here. "Angela Parker," she announced, her voice stronger than she felt. "I'm the new nurse." She hoped her confidence would mask her nerves. The silence stretched on for an uncomfortable beat. She could feel her heart pounding in her chest, each second feeling like an eternity. Finally, a woman with a tight bun and a name tag that read Head Nurse Roberts spoke. Her presence was commanding, and Angela felt a mix of respect and apprehension. "Right. We've been expecting you." Her tone was clipped, devoid of warmth, but there was a hint of expectation in her eyes. Her tone was clipped, devoid of warmth. Angela swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the moment. This was her chance to prove herself. This was going to be an uphill battle. But Angela was ready. She had faced adversity before and had come out stronger. This was just another challenge, another opportunity to shine. The first few weeks were a blur of long shifts, demanding patience, and a constant undercurrent of hostility. Angela quickly realized that St. Mary's wasn't just a hospital. It was a fortress of privilege, where the color of her skin seemed to be a mark against her. Subtle slights chipped away at her confidence. Charts mysteriously disappeared from her workstation, only to reappear later. She was given the most menial tasks, her skills and experience disregarded. Whispers followed her down the hallways, hushed conversations that ceased abruptly when she drew near. It was as if her presence alone was an unwelcome intrusion in their world. "Don't let them get to you," her grandmother's voice echoed in her ear. A woman who'd faced down Jim Crow with unwavering dignity. Her grandmother had taught her the true meaning of resilience. "Hold your head high, Angela. Show them what you're made of." But it was hard. The constant microaggressions wore her down, fueling a simmering anger within her. One afternoon, while preparing medication, Dr. Greaves, a haughty surgeon with a condescending air, barked, "Are you sure you know what you're doing there, nurse? Wouldn't want to make any mistakes." Angela's blood ran cold. "I assure you, doctor," she said, her voice tight, "I am perfectly capable of doing my job." Dr. Greaves merely chuckled, his eyes filled with disdain. Angela remembered her grandmother's stories of perseverance, of standing tall in the face of adversity. She had always been a beacon of strength, a reminder that dignity and self-respect were non-negotiable. The weight of her grandmother's legacy pressed on her shoulders, urging her to rise above the pettiness and prejudice. She knew she had to be strong, not just for herself, but for every young girl who looked up to her. Angela took a deep breath, her resolve hardening. She would not let the walls of prejudice define her. She would break through them, one act of defiance at a time. The next day, she walked into St. Mary's with her head held high, a quiet determination in her eyes. She would prove her worth, not just to them, but to herself. And as she moved through the hallways, she felt a shift. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but it was there. A newfound respect, a grudging acknowledgement of her strength. The walls of prejudice were still there, but they were starting to crack. Angela knew it would be a long journey, but she was ready. She had the strength of her ancestors behind her, and a future of possibilities ahead. She would not be broken.